how often do you think you ask for permission or validation from the outside world? We're all guilty of it. So there's no need to like say, me? No, I never. Everybody does it. Some do it to a greater extent, some do it to a lesser, but everyone's guilty of it to some degree, right? We're all human. We all need some sort of love and validation and whatever. And ultimately, like, if you purchase something, you're essentially looking for permission or validation, right? You got to pay your taxes, you need a loan, a mortgage, whatever. So again, it's not that no one ever has to seek some type of green light, right? We all do. But is that okay? And how much of it is okay? Do you draw a line for yourself? Is there a line? Is it something you've even ever considered or thought of? Or is it just kind of like, I just kind of live my life on autopilot? I'm not really... For most people, that's their reality. They live life on autopilot. Especially today, 2025. Most men are just... it's not even like... I don't know if it's even fathomable. Like at times, even for myself living here in this day and age, but I can't even imagine if like our forefathers and our ancestors would have seen the state of humanity in general, but like masculinity and men today is just... it's damn near non-existent. And we can get into the rabbit hole of like, well, what's masculinity? What makes a man a man? Me personally, if you're a male, anatomically, you have parts of being a male, then you're a male. That doesn't make you a man. Oh, it's a beautiful butterfly. That doesn't make you a man. Just because you got a dick and balls doesn't make you a man. That makes you male, for sure. You're a male. Biologically, you're a male, but that doesn't make you a man, right? And everyone has different standards and ideas of what a man is, but I think a good indication, a good starting point perhaps, of a man is knowing where his boundaries are, if he has boundaries, if he has standards, if he walks around seeking validation and permission, because there's people neuter their dogs, right? It's just a common thing. The dog is still a male, right? Doesn't change the fact that it's a male, but you've taken something from the creature in and of itself. There's no denying that biologically, when you remove the testicles from your dog, right? You've essentially you've pulled what the essence of making it a male is. Again, it's still a male, but what makes it procreate, what makes it aggressive, what gives it kind of a drive, you dampen that. And I'm not saying anything any other YouTuber or Manosphere, Red Pillar has said. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. This is just my take on something that's been said and honestly probably beaten to death at this point. But it's what's currently on my mind, and you know, it's I try to see everything as a double-edged sword, right? Nothing in life is just inherently good or bad. It's both. It's good and bad. And it's sad. It's really a tragedy to see. But at the same time, I can see the upside in it being that this is the best time and the greatest time to be a man and to lead by example, because there's literally no I personally and I know for a fact that, like, myself included, we can't imagine the harsh reality that our ancestors went through. Like, we know reading history books and like watching movies and stuff, right? Like, wow, it must have been hard back then. They didn't have plumbing, and they had to hunt for food, and you had to fight with other men and like all this stuff, right? But like, you really cannot wrap your head around the level of violence that surrounded everyday life for humans during certain periods in history. And the one common thread that I can pull from all those examples, those history, is that free men don't ask for permission. Free men don't ask for permission. And in today's society, there's little to nothing that we don't have to ask someone, something for permission. I've seen it almost every day. I've seen it through different aspects. I've seen it through coworkers, family members, where like men today are effectively neutered dogs. They're little chihuahuas with their nuts clipped off. And it's just kind of like, it's the norm. Happy wife, happy life. It's the norm. It's just this cringe, weird thing where like being a man, anything that's being a man is bad. Little boys are little boys. They're not defective little girls. And yet so many of them today are given, medication and diagnosed with ADHD, ADD, elemental P, all these different damn letters and acronyms for something. There's always something new. Oh, he's got this, he's got that. He's a little boy, man. Little boys are hyper. Little boys like to jump up and down and play, make believe that sticks are swords and they're slaying dragons. And little boys like to play cops and robbers. Little boys are very, hands-on. They like to play rough. They like to experience things and experiment and jump off the damn swings at the park and get scraped up. That's boys. That's how we interface with the world. And that's not to say that there aren't girls that do. There definitely are girls who do, but by and large, we've come to know and understand that boys can be rowdy. That's just how boys are, man. And I hate living in a world where being whatever a boy or a man is bad. I hate living in a world where we're effectively looked at as broken. We're defective women. It's not good to be what you are. Your nature is bad. You need to be more like this docile, feminine, neutered animal. And it's like, no, I'm not. It's not my nature. I hate that we have to fight our nature every step of the way. Every single day we have to pretend. Now, am I saying, we should do whatever the hell we want? Men should just go be aggro, hyper masculine? No, not at all what I'm saying. And if you think that's what I'm saying, you're probably just as retarded as the people who think we should be, these docile little creatures. Same coin, just different sides of the retardedness. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is that men and women need each other, man. And there's nothing wrong with what men are by nature. There's nothing wrong with being a man. Men are protectors, man. Men are providers, and I'm proud of that. I love the fact that I can be that for my loved ones. That literally drives me to be better. That drives me to get up at 5 a.m. before work, take my ass to the gym. I don't want to do that shit, man. I'm tired. I want to sleep. I want to relax. Men are, when the enemy's at the gates, who is it that handles the business, man? Men of valor and honor. It's men, by and large, that run into burning buildings and save people. Men, men have invented and founded and conquered and just done some of the most amazing things in history. And it's just such a shame that we're demonized because we're different, because we're not girls. Like, I hate it. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And it is what it is. This isn't me crying. And like I said, I like to see things as good and bad. And it sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It's shitty. It's lame. It's boring. It's cringe as hell to be around people who just constantly want to supplicate and grovel to like feminist ideologies and women and like, oh yeah, like that said, that whole happy wife, happy life, like, drives me up the wall. It's just disgusting to me. It's disgusting. It's weird. It's cringe. It's gross. Like, I can't stand it. But I've accepted that this is the time we live in. This is how things are, and the first step to growth and change is to accept. And I've accepted it, and I've accepted and understood that, okay, this is what it is, so you have to learn how to navigate this world as it is, whilst still being able to live the life you want, right? And as long as you're not hurting, harming anyone, and you're doing what you got to do and not affecting or hurting anyone else, I think it's crucial that as men, we live life on our terms to the best of our ability within the confines of the system of which we're living in, right? You do what you can with what you got. And as I touched on in my last video, you gotta have a level of delusion, and that's fine. I'm delusional because I know how I'm gonna blueprint my life, and I know what I want out of my life. And I'm not here to be a neutered dog, man. I'm not here to be a leashed little puppy that, when it's okay for me to be a man, when it's okay for me to step up and provide and protect, then I'll do it. Then I'll do it. And then I'll go back to being this little, pat me on the head, good boy, kneel, sit, stay. No, I don't think so. And neither should you. You shouldn't want that for yourself. You shouldn't want that for your family. You shouldn't want that for your loved ones. You shouldn't want that for your employees. If you're a business owner, you shouldn't want that for anyone who has come into contact with you or is around you. You should want people, when they are in contact with you, when they're around you, they should feel safe. They should feel protected. They should feel like my time is not well spent with other people. You should be uplifting people. You should be making people better. You should be a blessing to others. And people should want to look at you as a man and feel like there's no other place I'd rather be. This person brings me such immense value, be it love, again, protection, provision, wisdom, whatever it is that you're providing in that specific relationship to that person. That person should always leave better than when you found them. Always. But that starts with us. And that starts with making the decision to be better. And that requires your permission, your own permission, not some outside entity, not some faceless corporation, not mommy and daddy. No, it's you. It starts with us as men. It starts with you. It's hard. It's hard. But so is anything else worth doing in life. Everything and anything you attempt to do in life is going to be hard. Why not make it something worthy of achieving? You can't effectively change society. You cannot go out and change the whole world. It's not going to happen. But that's okay. You don't need to. Start with you. Start with yourself. Start with your home. Start with your family. Be the best version of yourself for others around you. And that domino effect, you hit one domino and it causes a chain reaction. Everything around you, everyone around you will be better for it if you're at your best. But again, that starts with knowing that you need to be a man, and it's okay to be a man. It's okay to have the feelings that we have as men. It's okay to have the wants that we have. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with little boys being little boys. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's necessary. The world is a better place because of men being men. I don't care what anyone says. You can't prove it otherwise. There's a reason God made man and women. And this is not me putting women down. In fact, I think women are literally the most precious thing we have. Women are the most precious thing we have. Men, any real man that won't lie, that will tell you the truth, everything men do is for women. It's for the preservation of life. Dudes go get fresh, they get haircuts, they wash their ass, they dress fly, they get nice cars, they get a high-paying job, they try to hustle and make money. Everything that men do is essentially for the potential promise of sex. It is because we want a family, or some guys might not want a family, right? But it's for the biological procreation. It's essentially what it boils down to. Men do everything they do. Men work out, they get strong. It ain't to impress other dudes. You think guys get a car to impress guys? Not heterosexual men. I'm talking to the straight men. They're not out here trying to impress other guys. It's kind of like a plus one, like a bonus. Like, I got this fly whip. Look at my head. Yeah, I'm stronger than you. Yeah, like we do that. Guys definitely test each other's mettle and they like to flex on each other. But ultimately, it ain't for that. Everything men do is for women. We love women. Again, I get my ass up early. I work. I bust my ass. Anything and everything I do is for my loved ones. If you took women away and men couldn't, there was just men, bro, it would just be a bunch of apes fighting all the time and like nothing of real, like, there'd be no reason to like get better other than to like fight other men, maybe, you know? That's the damn thing. There'd be no real reason to like, why am I gonna get a haircut? Why am I gonna get fresh? To impress you? What the hell am I gonna get a better car for? I can just walk or ride a damn bike. Guys do everything for the betterment of women, for their family. Everything. Everything. Literally everything. So this is not me putting women down. This is me just trying to pick men up because we've been kicked down far too fucking long and I'm sick of that. I'm sick and tired of it. Men need to be men again. Men need to be okay with being men because it literally is for the betterment of everyone else around us. It's time that as men we took the reins back and stepped into our roles in society for the betterment of the world, for the betterment of our loved ones. Nothing wrong with being a man. But it starts with you. It starts with us. It starts with me. So ask yourself, are you seeking validation or are you living life on your own terms? Because free men don't ask for permission.